Good afternoon, Fulton and beyond. You are tuned into the Calabash Digest, where headlines hit harder and context goes deeper. I'm your host, Teresa Kefsisi, and for the next hour, we'll unpack the stories shaping Sierra Leone and the world. Grab your water and juice or your earbud. Let's get into it. Our tease headline for today is from the Calabash newspaper, which says NP Sierra Leone reinforces its first for customer care promise with strategic leadership. Let's go for a short break. We'll be back as we dive into the top headlines that make up the news for today's the Calabash Digest. Don't forget to like, share, and follow us as we bring you more updates. So for our first story for today, we'll take the Calabash newspaper, of course. This is ours, which says the top headlines: Honorable Cheikoko receives Lifetime Achievement Award for Advocacy and Democratic Leadership. Then at 14th National Delegates Conference, Jimmy Batilo Songa clinches SLPP National Chairmanship in landslide victory. Honorable Alpha Ben urges Paramount Chiefs to support establishment of national ID card centers at chiefdom and sectional levels. Minister Salim Abba, access to internet should be a basic human right in Sierra Leone's tech vision. NP Sierra Leone reinforces its first for customer care promise with strategic leadership. IOM and EPA conduct validation workshop to tackle coastal community vulnerabilities in Sierra Leone. And finally, for the top headlines on the Calabash newspaper, we have Sierra Leone's urban transformation, new book highlights decade of community-driven research. We go to our next paper, Inside the Calabash, when at the Voice of Salone newspaper. It's a newly elected SFP deputy chairman expresses gratitude to First Lady Fatima Bio. Another one says, is Agios the secretary registered in ST Kitts and Nevis? That's a question. Then we have the U.S. Embassy clarifies MCC funding mechanism for Sierra Leone. And the Macaulay receives warm welcome in Kono as he joins Muslims for Juma prayers. Flood in risk imminent, FCC mayor calls for collaboration. SLPP News National Executive falls short of 30% women's quota. Okay, that's all we get for the Voice of Salone top headlines. We go to the next newspaper at the Calabash this afternoon, when at the Sky Times newspaper, we say Tizu Chi, Sierra Leone trains 40 volunteers in compassionate service and ethical living. Then for excellence and social impact, RC Bank and MD Dr. Gilpin bag multiple awards. Stats SL and MOICE finalized communication strategy for 2026 census. Honorable Cheikoko ready to lead, committed to serve, a call for steady APC leadership. We have MP Alpha Ben Mansare appeals to Paramount Chief for chiefdom level ID card center. SLPP elects vibrant executive as party prepares for opposition role in 2028. And finally, For the Sky Times newspaper front page, we have proposed Deputy Finance Minister 2 phases parliamentary vetting. We go inside the Calabash again and take the next paper, when at the Global Times newspaper. So it says Jala University in turmoil over leadership saga. Then we get Engineer Amara Kane concedes defeat honorably. Another headline says Mayor Akisoya urges climate financing for global south cities at Pennisville plan launch. Then we get Babadi Kamara elected president of SNFA. Armed robbers grabbed in Go. NPRA British Council building. Okay, that's all we get for the Global Times newspaper for today, August 4th, 2025. Another newspaper will be inside the Calabash this afternoon, now the Awoko newspaper. We say Sierra Leone's dependence on rice imports exposes coastal Africa's transport fragility. Honorable Alpha Ben Mansaye calls on paramount chiefs to champion decentralization of NCRA ID centers. EcoBank Sierra Leone concludes Kapu Gentry campaign with exciting grand draw in Freetown. Okay, this is now the Awoko newspaper. We continue for what inside with Calabash. We get to next paper, Awareness Times. We say proposed Human Rights Commission Act 2025 under joint review in Freetown. After prolonged months of relentless sponsored invectives and mamikos that he had deliberately turned a blind eye to, Madabio says SLPP nastiness should now end. Start Sierra Leone and Moise finalized key communication strategy for 2026 census. West African police chiefs to discuss regional anti-corruption coordination. Then we get seized Push Lab anti-Africa's assets inspected by Minister Lengo. Then we get special editorial, this is politics, First Lady Fatima, Parantarawali, CSO Mambu, Cocoa Roast and election of SFPP officers. These are all we get at the front page of the Awareness Times newspaper. We continue for what is with Calabash. We get the Future Media newspaper. We say APC versus SFPP. We get salon debt reaches 67.7 billion news. Mayor Akisoya, Liberia. Mayor Akisoya and President Boakai. Then we get battle on new blueprints. Government losses billions. Then Information Minister welcomes large executive. These are all we get at the front page of the Future Media newspaper. We go inside the Calabash again. We get the Standard Times newspaper. We say Deputy Minister visits Sowa Chiefdom. Then we get you've been my shield. Robert Kondema shows gratitude to First Lady. Others. EcoBank Kapu Gentry Grand Draw promotion. Rewards lawyer customers and express point agents. Well, this are the all waiting we get at the Standard Times newspaper front page. Another one at the Calabash this afternoon at the Satellite newspaper. They say as National Delegates Conference ends successfully, SLPP elects new national executives. Government holds all new capital projects from MDAs for 2026 fiscal year. We get government launches revenue recovery strategy to boost domestic income. This na all we get na the satellite newspaper. We get the A to Z newspaper inside the Calabash also, wey say Parliament ratifies EU Sierra Leone financing deal to boost agriculture and food security. Goes inaugurate Royal Agape Medical Center. Sierra Leone launches national strategy to end teenage pregnancy and child marriage. Information Ministry strengthens communication strategy ahead of 2026 census. Then we get Zenith Bank stars implicated in forgery and theft case. So this now the A to Z newspaper front top head stories. Then last on inside the Calabash this afternoon, we get the Salon Times newspaper. We say if our economy is booming, let's have drastic increase in salary. Chairman Batilo Songa promises to unite SLPP. 2022-25 keeps us going. Ramadan abuse amongst youth raises national alarm. AfriCell partners with Me Cashbox to launch Save to Buy schemes for Samsung smartphone. And last, on the front page of Salon Times newspaper, we get ECOWAS Court of Justice, President and delegation pay a courtesy call on the human rights of Sierra Leone. So this now all we get for the newspaper then today inside the Calabash, the front page then. We go for a short break, then we will come back for dive into the stories then proper.
Honey, I don't let bad one. Take this packet neatly bone, wey dem don already make, and put am na bowl for the pikin. E really easy for me. Just put am na clean bowl, add warm water, and mix am well one. Na packed already so. E really easy. E get different flavor dem like rice, corn, oats, multi-cereal, wheat and honey, banana and apple, all safe dey. Ebo me dear, I left you for the pikin pap, but you don't eat all thing. Nutribon for you pikin in well body one.
Don't forget, welcome back. You are watching the Calabash Digest right here live on the Calabash Online TV. So we continue with the news in details. We get the Calabash newspaper way. Now the NP Sierra Leone enforces its force for customer care, promise with strategic leadership by Amin Kef, Ranger. Very remarkable and groundbreaking milestone has been achieved in Sierra Leone's petroleum sector as NP Sierra Leone Limited, a wholly Sierra Leonean-owned oil marketing company, continued to solidify its position as a household name not only nationally but also across the West African region, under the visionary leadership of its newly appointed Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Mohamed S. Kanu. NP Sierra Leone is breaking new ground in quality petroleum, distribution, customer service, excellence, and regional expansion. So, this is the NP Sierra Leone. We don't make a promise, say that they continue to be the first in customer care in Sierra Leone. They will continue to give the people the waiting they want. They will continue to make NP be the best among all others in the petroleum sector. They don get a new chairman, chief executive officer wey na Dr. Mohammed S. Kanu, and we wan for congratulate am in im new office. And we pray and hope say as they don make this promise to the people of Sierra Leone for let im lead well and for let them be the best in customer care service, we pray that it will be so as they don say. So na that we get na the Calabash newspaper. We continue with the Voice of Salone newspaper, where the headline say Flossy Mayor calls for collaboration. So it says by Sulaiman T. Jallo, following a warning from the Disaster Management Agency about heavy rainfall expected in the coming days, the mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, has called for urgent collaboration among all relevant stakeholders to mitigate the risk of flooding in the city. The mayor urged residents, particularly those living in hilltop and flood-prone areas, to remain alert and consider relocating temporarily until the severe weather passes. She emphasized the importance of preparedness and community responsibility in preventing disaster. Mayor Akisoya also warned against the continued practice of dumping garbage in waterways, which obstruct drainage system and exacerbate flooding risks. Well, this now according to the Voice of Salone newspaper, where the mayor of Freetown they call for collaboration, for call on stakeholders them and the one way they involved for help for combat this flooding, because the rain so heavy these days and we dey expect more rains for calm. And as that be the case, they also call on the one way they na the hilltop, where they na danger zone areas, danger prone areas, for make them be very, for let them alert, let them always dey on the alert, say as the rain dey come, e liable for cause damage. Make them stop for throway dirty na the waters them. Na that can make the water dey block and cause flooding. So please, the one that way involved, as the mayor dey call for collaboration, make them join them together so that this flooding na this city will come to an end. Thank you. Na that they all we get na the Voice of Salone newspaper. We continue with the other newspaper, when at the Sky Times newspaper, we say IC Bank and MD Gilpin, Dr. Gilpin, bag multiple awards. Local Commercial Bank, ICB, one of Sierra Leone's leading financial institutions, has once again emerged in the spotlight, receiving a series of prestigious awards in recognition of its outstanding performance, integrity, and contribution to national development. Online education for Sierra Leone. On Wednesday, 30th July 2025, the bank was honored with 3 awards from various institutions, including a certificate of merit from the National Union of Civil Society Organization, NUCSO, which hailed ICB as the best bank in Sierra Leone for 2024 to 2025. Okay, congratulations to the Local Commercial Bank. We pray and hope that una will continue with una good work, una will continue for be the best among the others them na Salone. And we pray that as una don start so, una no go let we down the people of Sierra Leone. Una will continue for doing our best and make other banks them that follow our footsteps. We continue. They say armed robbers grabbed in Bo. This now the Global Times newspaper. They say the Sierra Leone police have arrested 9 individuals suspected of armed robberies and theft in Bo City on July 30, 2025. The operation, led by the Regional Command South, followed weeks of investigation due to increased criminal activity. The suspect includes Alfred Braimer, Anthony Tucker, Prince Jacoa, George Conte, Musa Pukumu, Sheriff Yemide, James Williams, Abdulrahman Sise, and Mohammed Jallo. 7 are charged with aggravated robbery and 2 with larceny. Assistant Inspector General Ibrahim Akane praised the officers and the public for their support, affirming the police commitment to safety. So we want to say kudos to the Sierra Leone police, where they try very hard for make them able to combat this armed robbery in this country. As they do this good work, we pray that they will continue for do this good work so that this armed robbery, where the people, their lives, then they at stake, properties, then they at stake, that it will stop in this country. We want to tell una thank you, the Sierra Leone police force, and we know say as una don't start so, una will continue for make this crime done in this country. Then now we get for we top stories now the Global Times newspaper. We continue, we get the Awoko newspaper. We say Sierra Leone's dependence on rice imports exposes coastal Africa's transport fragility. This is not by Zainab Joki at Awoko newspaper sl.com. Freetown, August 4, 2025. A new World Bank report is sounding the alarm on how weak transport infrastructure is undermining food security across Africa, with Sierra Leone emerging as one of the most vulnerable economies in this unfolding challenge. Title: Transport Connectivity for Food Security in Africa. Strengthening supply chains. The report underscores how rising transport costs, inefficient logistics, and delays borders and ports are impacting the availability and affordability of staple foods across the continent, focusing on 4 critical staples: rice, maize, wheat, and cassava. The analysis reveals a complex web of dependency. So, the World Bank, Freetown, August 4, 2025, don't send a report that the transportation is very weak. Now, in they make the food business the very difficult in Sierra Leone. They say it's sounding the alarm on weak transportation infrastructure is undermining food security across Africa. Sierra Leone are the most vulnerable country in economies. This don't make the country don't become vulnerable because of the transportation very high, the way people that they go for go buy, for let them even carry them, for make people that go able to forget enough day. Transport very costly. Then the arts forget because the people them they always they strain, they facing so much constraint for carry with rice, for carry with other food, the staple foods them of this country. So please, we dey call on the people them way involved, way concerned for make them able for help, for make the rest and the other commodities them go able for come na this country. This na from the Awoko newspaper. We go to the Awareness Times newspaper. We say seized push lab and traffickers assets inspected by the Dr. Lengo. So during a surprise oversight tour at the Hastings base of the Transnational Organized Crime Unit, Tokyo, the Minister of Internal Affairs, retired AIG Maureen Lengo Esquire, personally examined a range of confiscated assets, including illicit drugs, manufacturing tools, and vehicles linked to trafficking operations. Among the exhibits were materials used in the production of the synthetic drug push, alongside multiple impounded vehicles believed to be proceeds of organized criminal activity. This on-the-ground assessment took place on Thursday, 31st July 2025. The Ministry of Internal Affairs announced on social media that the visit was conducted to evaluate TOCU's effort in disrupting organized crime network that span drug trafficking. So dis na the minister Lengo seize the kush lab wey dem dey use for traffic the asset dem. Minister Lengo bin go inspect dem thing dey so to find out say na kush and the things dem wey dem dey use for produce dis kush. So we wan for thank you to dis minister wey dem dey fight very hard for let dis kush done na dis country, because the youth dem really don go astray because of dis kush. The youth dem don really dey go bad because of dis kush. So please we dey continue for beg the authorities in charge for let dem continue for do more as dem don start. Make dem continue for do more every area wey dem know say dem able for combat for make dis kush stop. The one dem wey dey import am, the one wey dey traffic am illegally, make dem go able for arrest dem so that dis go stop na dis country and youth dem go go back to normal. Dis na the awareness times newspaper. We get the other newspaper wey na the feature media newspaper. They say information minister welcomes slash executives. Alhaji Manika Kamara and Chenoba. The Minister of Information and Civic Education, Chenoba, has on Friday, August 1st, 2025, received a courtesy visit from the newly elected executive of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, SLAJ, led by former President Ahmed Sahid Nasrallah and the newly elected President Alhaji Manika. The SLAJ team used the occasion to introduce the new leadership, present a position paper advocating for the inclusion of a dedicated Chapter 12 in the Constitution to guarantee press freedom, and to formally commend the need for its effort in advancing media freedom and civic participation. So this na wetin the future media dey try to say. The newly elected executives of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, in company of the former President Ahmed Sahid Nasrallah, they pay a courtesy visit to the Minister of Information, Chenoba, with gift, and then they commend them because the way it dey try very hard for inform the public, the press, about everything wey dey happen, and we dey pray that they will continue for inform people dem, make dem no go keep nothing from the public, that everything wey dey happen concerning the nation Sierra Leone we for be part and parcel, so that whatever mistake we all go join hand for correct am. We want to commend the Minister of Information, and we want to also continue to congratulate the newly elected President Alhaji Manika Kamara of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists. We get paper wey na Standard Times newspaper wey say Deputy Minister visit Sowa Chiefdom. In a significant display of democracy and community involvement, the Deputy Minister of Local Government, accompanied by an entourage, visited Sowa Chiefdom to engage residents on matters of critical importance, the potential establishment of the district headquarters town. So the Deputy Minister go visit the Chiefdom. The Deputy Minister of Local Government will visit the Chiefdom to for engaging the residents them on the critical matters them, the important things them wey essential for the community for that particular Chiefdom dey. In a significant display, the visit was to assess the local population interest in designating the Bandajuma district as the location for this administrative hub or considering alternative outside the district. So, in the purpose of a visit, na for let you go able for assess the local population na this particular chiefdom. We also get the satellite newspaper. We say as National Delegates Conference ends successfully, SLPP elects new national executives. So, new national executive, the governing Sierra Leone People's Party has elected a new national executive following the successful conduct of its two-day 14th National Delegates Conference held in Freetown last week Wednesday and Thursday. All executive elections were successfully conducted during the convention, including the position of national chairman, which was a landslide victory for Sir Jimmy Batilo, the people's chairman. So this na the SLPP Delegates Conference where they bin get na bin Turani last week Wednesday and Thursday, when it happened for make Jimmy Batilo be the chairman. We want to congratulate him and all the elected executives that they will do and play their part according to why they elect them. We get with other newspaper wey na A to Z newspaper. It says Sierra Leone launches national strategy to end teenage pregnancy and child marriage. In a significant step towards safeguarding adolescent girls and promoting gender equity, the National Secretariat for the Reduction of Teenage Pregnancy under the Ministry of Health has officially launched the National Strategy for the Reduction of Adolescent Pregnancy and Ending Child Marriage 2025 to 2030 in Bo City. The event also featured the formal presentation of the formative research report on adolescent health, nutrition and support system, held at Galines Paradise, Masakwe Drive. The regional dissemination ceremony drew stakeholders from various government ministries, development partners, local councils, and community leaders. The day commenced with participants registration at 8:30 a.m. followed by an opening prayer and a call to order led by Mr. Victor G. Karimo, NSRTP Communication Officer. In her welcome and opening remarks, Dr. Salima Tunjai Koman, Director of NSRTP and Chairperson of the event, emphasized the urgency of addressing adolescent pregnancy and child marriage in Sierra Leone through data-driven, community-based strategies. She underscored the need for a unified national response. Delivering the official welcome address on behalf of the Deputy Director of the Ministry of Basic and Senior Education in Bo, Peter Abdullahi highlighted the crucial role of education in preventing teenage pregnancy and empowering adolescent girls. A key moment of the event was the presentation of the formative research report by Mr. Robert Sam Parker, Research and Publication Specialist from the Ministry of Health. This was followed by a comprehensive breakdown of the new strategy by Dr. Patricia Matuba, who outlined its core objective, implementation roadmap, and anticipated impact. So this na according to the A to Z newspaper. It says Sierra Leone don launch national strategy for let dem end teenage pregnancy and child marriage, because this teenage pregnancy dey really dey affect we young one dem, dey really dey affect the pikin dem school, dem future, and this early marriage. So e good that dem don launch this national strategy for make dem go able to end dem teenage pregnancy and early child marriage, because dem dey waste the pikin dem destiny, the pikin dem future. Dem dey waste am, dem dey delay am. As this dey happen, dey make boku pikin dem dey na street, dey make boku pikin dem dey miss their way. So as dem don launch this, I pray that dem go continue for do wetin dem don start, that dem no go stop as dem don launch am. So dem go try all means for let this teenage pregnancy go stop and let this early child marriage go stop na this country. We wan for tell dem thank you, we wan for say kudos to dem for wey dem don launch this kind program. Finally, na we Calabash this afternoon, we get the Salon Times newspaper. E say 225 keeps us going. Tramadol abuse amongst youth raises national alarm. Let we watch wetin this get for tell you. So, by Sir Ibrahim Komba, this na the Salon Times newspaper. They say 225 is now a part of my daily meal. Oh, I cannot go a day or even ride my bike without taking 225, said Ansu, not his real name. A commercial bike rider navigating the steep, rocky terrains of Mayenkine Road in Calabash Town, Eastern Freetown. Ansu's story is far from unique. It claims that 99.9% of commercial bike riders take 225 to boost stamina and endurance. It's the only way we survive the day. Known on the street as 225, Tramadol is a powerful opioid analgesic typically prescribed for moderate to severe pain following surgery or injury in Sierra Leone. However, it has leaked beyond medical control and found its way to the black market, fueling a dangerous culture of chemical dependency, particularly among young men in physically demanding jobs. Riders of Mayenike Road who are prohibited from entering the central useless district operate instead in peripheral zones with poor infrastructure. So dis na the bike riders dem, and one particular one wey name Ansu. E say that tramadol wey dem dey call 225, e don become part of am. If you no take am for the day, you no go ever feel fine. But I want to make this person, make dem tell am and make the government calm, make dem sensitize dem say this na a very dangerous drug wey dem dey take daily. This na for dem just prescribe am for people wey dey in severe pain, na dem hospital dem like for do surgery and other thing dem, but dem don take am now as dem daily meal, and wey very dangerous for dem health, wey very dangerous for dem body. E no good at all. And for the mere fact wey dem don put am at dem aim say without that thing dem no go able get trend, e very bad, which means e don become addicted to dem. I want, as they don write am, the writer na this Salon Times don write am, make the authorities in charge look into this and go na that community dey for sensitize dem by command dey so for say this wey una don put now una head so e no good for una health, e no good for anything concerning una. Una for stop for take am and make dem stop the one wey dey carry it wey dey sell am to dem. E very very bad. So na dem dey all we get for we Calabash Digest this afternoon today, Monday 4th August 2025. Me wey don be una host, me na Teresa FCC. Until we see again tomorrow, I say bye bye. and thank you for waiting to stay with me.